Gamer Ahmer here. So today I wanted to talk about my trip to this toy show that was hosted in Pennsylvania. I found tons of amazing items while I was there. I saw tons of Bucky O'Hare figures, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just saw so much vintage stuff. I even scored some really awesome vintage handheld systems, vintage video games, tons of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle goodies, and just so much more. So let's go ahead and see what I got. So this toy show is one that I actually went to last year as well. It is hosted by JB's Toys. I'll go ahead and drop their information below in the description. They have social media and they host tons of events all year long. So the last toy show that I went to that they hosted was actually last year. I found tons of different vendors there that had vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys, some other really awesome figures, so make sure you guys check out that previous video. And this time I saw some of the same vendors there, and these people come from all over. They're from Maryland, they're from Pennsylvania, and just other surrounding states. So they set up at these video game and toy show setups, and they just have so many crazy goodies. So I found so much stuff. So of course we'll just kind of jump into what I found and all of the links of all of the awesome vendors that I met while at this show. I'll go ahead and drop in the description below. So of course I knew going into this place that I wanted to find tons of video game items and some vintage figures. So I was really hoping that I would find some vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys that I could just add to the collection, as I've been on a roll finding vintage turtle stuff, and I just wanted to find some really awesome video games and just some other stuff for pretty awesome deals. So of course I figured that I would find everything that I wanted. So first up, we'll go ahead and talk about some of the toys that I got. So of course my buddies at this table, they have tons of vintage toys. They have tons of vintage video games, they have systems, handhelds, box games, loose games. They have vintage toys like turtles and just all kinds of other Transformers and things like that. So of course I had to get all of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. These were all complete to go with the set that I already have. So of course we have these really awesome rocker turtles. These are these rock and roll style turtles. I did have one in the collection already, so of course we have this one right here with all of these extras. You go ahead and put this around him, and then you have all of these little turntables, discs, and then we even have this weapon right here. So of course the one that I already had in the collection was this one right here. So I thought that I would try and find the entire set while I was there. Of course I was looking for a couple other figures that I don't have in the collection just yet, and I didn't find a couple of those. Last time I did go, I found tons of those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle vehicles and other loose figures, but I'm trying to find some of these figures complete. So that was my main goal this time. So of course we have this one. It says Turtle Rocks. So these are just really awesome figures. They are some that I did not have complete in the collection, and just some that I desperately needed to go ahead and complete this set right here. So here we have this one. So this is the final one that's in the set. So I just really like this set of figures right here. I knew that because I already had one in the set of 4, I had to try and find the other 3, and I wanted to try and find them complete, as they have these really awesome weapons, these really bright and vibrant colors along with this, and these characters, just the way that they design these figures just looks so awesome. So I was really excited that I found these at one of the first tables right when you walk in to this toy show, and I just knew I was going to find some pretty amazing things there. So on to this next place that I went to. They actually had tons of vintage comics, they had Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, they had some of the movie posters, just other pretty awesome items. They had tons of vintage figures, toys, just kind of an all-in-one place. And then I saw this, and this reminded me of Pac Man, so I thought that this would be pretty awesome to have. This is this pretty crazy looking handheld system that's vintage. It says Bandai Electronics Arcade, bright fluorescent readout, real arcade action and sound. So it looks like it says Pac Man right here, but this is the Pac-Ray monster. So it says gobble or be gobbled. So this definitely looks very similar to the Pac Man craze that was going on. And it came with this original box, which has definitely seen better days. And then we have this vintage system right here. So this is actually really cool. And it has all of the stuff on the back as well. So this is pretty old and doesn't have any damage to where the batteries actually go. It looks like it takes 4 AA batteries, and it even has this little cover, which most of the time those are missing. Looks like there's even a little port where you could probably plug it in. So of course you just power it on and off, you press start, and then you can go ahead and control this little screen right here and just increase your score. So this is really awesome, and I was definitely excited to find this, as this has that older style Pac-Man feel, but this is not one of those actual released Pac-Man items. This is one of those, it looks like one of those knockoff systems. So I thought that this was really cool to have in the vintage corner that I have over there, with tons of other Pac-Man consoles, little handheld systems, all of the Atari items that I just have over in that corner. So I thought that that was definitely pretty sweet. And then onto another figure that I found. So this is something that I was pretty excited. I actually made a deal with tons of games. So this right here may look familiar to some of you guys. This is this little Mario figure. It definitely is a little bit dusty, so I'll have to get it cleaned up. But this is just so cool. This is one of those old McDonald's toys. And the reason why I really wanted this toy is when I saw it, it definitely brought back so many memories to me, where this right here, I actually found this bundle of toys at a thrift store, and this was $2.99, and then it was half off. So right here we have this little Luigi figure. So this is a mixture of, looks like McDonald's toys, some of the newer ones, and then of course some of the older ones. So I was more concerned about this little figure right here. So this is from 1989, Nintendo of America, and this is one of those McDonald's toys. So now I have the little set right here with Mario and Luigi. So I thought that that was really cool that I found this after I found Luigi at one of the thrift stores near me. So I thought that that was really awesome. I knew I had to have it, as I just saw it and it definitely brought back some memories, and it was just fate that I found them both around the same time in the same weekend, and I wasn't even looking for either, so that was definitely pretty sweet. And then on to another little item. So this I also found at one of the thrift stores near me. This was also half off, so I think I paid like $2 for it. This is one of those old electronic football games, and this is definitely older style. It looks like some of the back is ripped off, but it does have the battery cover with it. So this is one of those 70s or 80s handheld systems that they had, these little cheap games that they had. So I figured that this would all go along pretty great. And then they even had a couple of these controllers, so I'll just try and get these out of the way. So this is a Mad Catz controller right here. It looks like it's missing a little cover, but I figured that I could go ahead and use this for parts, as it was so cheap. And then this one right here, we have this little Microsoft controller. It looks like something that you would plug back into the PC back in the day, as it has this little end on here. And this is the Sidewinder Gamepad Pro, and it says Microsoft on it. So I thought that this was a neat little find, all at the thrift store that was near this location that I went to. And then on to another side tangent we have right here. These I actually scored from Walmart. and these go along great with everything else. So, of course, when I saw these Contra Funko Pops right here, I thought that they would be so cool. This one we have Bill and we have Lance. So I thought that this would be really awesome to display next to each other. These are the two characters that they have in the Contra series, and this is number 585 and 586. It says collect them all for Funko Pop. So these are just so awesome, definitely classics. I did see some other booths that they had set up at this toy show that had nothing but Funko Pops. So this is definitely pretty sweet that I was able to find a lot of these items. And then this last bit right here, so this was actually at one of the last tables where I found this little guy at. I was able to make a deal with the gentleman for a handheld system and all of these games that you're about to see. I just made a great deal, even got this figure thrown in, so I was so excited. And this Game Boy Pocket, it's a yellow one, and you don't see those very often. I actually got it for a buddy of mine, so that is now in his collection, and he is enjoying that handheld system. And then I was able to find him an original red Game Boy that I also already have in the collection, but I was able to help him out as well and pick up another game. So here I got a bit carried away. I was able to make an offer on all of these Atari games, and then even this little game right here at another booth, along with that red original Game Boy. So right here I picked up this Sega CD game. It's not very often that you see a lot of these Sega CD and Sega Saturn games out there. So this little booth had tons of vintage figures. They even had one of those box Frogger systems, those little tabletop systems that I've also done other videos on, like the Pac Man and the Galaxian little tabletop systems that they used to have back in the day in the 80s and some in the 70s. So this booth had some very clean and very expensive Sega CD and Sega Saturn games. They had Mega Man and just some other pretty awesome ones. So I saw this one and I saw that it was complete. This wasn't extremely expensive, but it wasn't on the cheaper end either. So this is Ultraverse Prime, and this is a little 2-pack. This says double deal, and you get this other game right here on the back. So if you just open this up, we have this game for the Sega CD, and then when you go ahead and flip this, you have this first game, Ultraverse Prime, and then it looks like we have these little instruction guides right here. It looks like it has both of them. So this one is complete with the registration, talks about some other stuff involving the game right here. It says, in the year 2051, planet Bodor is a dark and forbidding place. So I'm not really too sure about this game, but it has tons of pages in here. Looks like there's 48 or so pages in this little guide. And then we have this one right here. This also includes some pretty awesome color and comic design on here. So it says, not your ordinary kid. Kevin Green has more troubles than your average teenager. A successful product of genetic experimentation, Kevin has access to a source of amazing power locked within his youthful frame. A power he barely understands courses through his system, waiting to be unleashed as Prime. So this looks like one of those superhero style games. Definitely has this comic style, and there's tons of enemies, power up collectibles, and just some other stuff in here. So this is definitely pretty sweet, and I figured that this would be a great one to add to the collection, as I have not seen it before, and I was definitely shocked to see this complete with both of the discs in here just in immaculate condition. So I thought that this would be another cool one to add to the collection. So it says limited edition Prime comic inside. So this is definitely pretty sweet. This is so cool, and I'm glad that I was able to work a deal out and get this one for a great deal along with that original red Game Boy. And then all of these games right here. This is the one where I actually made a deal with that Game Boy Pocket, the yellow one, and then I ended up getting all of these games and this Mario little McDonald's figure. So this is pretty sweet. It came with all of these protective cases Of course, I got them a little bit dusty when I was doing some home improvement. So these were all included, and I got them all for great deals. We have Kaboom. We have Tennis. So this is pretty sweet. All of these pretty awesome Atari games. Many I have loose, but I don't actually have them complete in the box. And a lot of these are fully complete. A couple of them don't have the manuals, but I may have some to go ahead and complete these boxes. We have Asteroids. We have this ice hockey. Even have Skydiver. Combat. And then this one I thought was really sweet. This is a larger style box. This is Star Raiders. So this is one that you definitely don't see complete every day. This one says new inside volume 3, the Atari First Edition action-packed comic book by DC Comics. This is basic programming. We even have some golf, blackjack, Video Olympics, slot machine, some bowling, brainstorming, Stampede, fishing derby, and we have some Star Master, Maze Craze, a game of cops and robbers. This one does have a sticker on the front, but that should be easy to go ahead and peel right off. Then we have this Pac Man. It even has this outer sticker that says Atari Pac Man. So this is a classic right here. We have this soccer game. Then we have some air-sea battle. And some of these are more expensive games, so I was just so excited to go ahead and get them all for a great deal. Then we have this Cosmic Arc. This is in those iMagic game boxes. So they just slide out and they look just like that, all in very great shape. With some of these have the manuals, and some have just immaculate looking stickers right on the cartridge. So these are all pretty sweet. Then we have this Demon Attack, and this still has this top film on it. So this is definitely pretty sweet. Probably was barely played, or they just went ahead and slid it right out here with the instruction manuals and everything else, all in very great shape. Then we even had these games right here. So these ones are a little bit more difficult to find in these boxes. So we have these Telly games. This is Space Invaders, so a classic right here. This is Steeplechase. Some of these even have the original stickers from back in the day, $24.99. Then we have some baseball. This one says $19.99. And then we have some brain games. So it says all of these right here. It says count me, picture me, find me, add me, play me, touch me. So all of these little games right here. And then we have two of these loose games. We have Star Raiders and Skiing. So this was definitely an ultimate score, as I scored all of these vintage Atari games complete in their boxes. Well, most of them. Some are missing the manuals, which I can go ahead and complete. And I just couldn't believe that I found all of this at this toy show. So as you can tell, I scored tons of amazing items at this vintage toy show that they had. There are just so many items, and so many that I really wanted to go ahead and buy and just add to the collection, but I just didn't have the room or enough money while I was there. So there were so many different vendors, probably over 50 or so, at this massive indoor little vintage toy show that they had. Of course, I found tons of video games at a toy show, and I was able to make some really amazing deals on all of these items here. A couple of these items I actually did score at the thrift store around the same day and the same time that I picked up some of these other items. So I was really excited to add all of these to the game collection, and some of these will just look great on display. So these turtles were some of my main priorities trying to find. I didn't find a couple others that I was looking for, but stay tuned because I picked up so many turtles. Just so many for the game collection and the toy collection upstairs. So I'm so thrilled to show off that video, probably coming soon as I'm trying to reorganize and put everything away. I have become a master at trying to match some of these little weapons and other odds and ends to some of these turtles that I recently acquired. I think there are 70 some or so that I just added to the collection, so it's so crazy to me. And then all of these awesome video games. These are some complete in-box Atari games, just some that I did not have complete. I just love these bright colors. These are going to look amazing on display in that little retro corner, that little Atari corner with the Magnavox Odyssey games, just some other box games and television and things like that. So I'm just so thrilled to add all of these. I made such a great deal with the guy who had all of these games. He had tons of figures and everything. I even found a little matching set to this Luigi that I found at the thrift store. And then of course Mario, so these will look great in the collection as well. Just little odds and ends and just odd things that I'm trying to find now. And then of course there's two Game Boys, the Game Boy Pocket and the original Game Boy that I was also able to make a deal on. I did give those to a buddy of mine, so those are some things that he was looking for, so I'm really excited that I could help him out as well while I was out and about at this toy show. Then this game right here, it's not very often that you see these Sega games out and about. Got it. And it's just pretty awesome that I was able to add tons of these for some great deals and just add all of these other little controllers and things like that to the game collection. So hopefully that stays and hopefully I don't keep dropping everything. So overall, let me know in the comments below which item is among your favorite out of all of these. Do you like these vintage turtle toys? Do you like these little handheld systems? Can you believe that I scored some of these for very inexpensive? And then all of these complete or almost complete Atari games in these little protective cases, which is a good thing because I need to go ahead and dust them off as I was doing some drywall stuff around the house. So all of this stuff, I'm just so thrilled. Just let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. Have you played any of these games before? And which turtle is your favorite over here as well? So of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.